Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you what I read in my 24-hour reading challenge. So I participated in the 24-hour reading challenge. For this challenge, you read for 24 hours. Wow, super complex, right? So the first day that I participated in it was the 27th of December. And I read for 2 hours and 15 minutes. And that day, I believe I was reading the Matthew Perry autobiography. I think it's like Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. Then the 28th, I read for 4 hours and 33 minutes, and I was reading an audiobook called If He Had Been With Me. At that point, my total read was 6 hours and 48 minutes. And then the 30th, I read for 29 minutes, which was also If He Had Been With Me. And then the 2nd of January, I read for 4 hours. That was also If He Had Been With Me. Or no, that was probably something else. I don't know. Anyway, the 2nd I read 4 hours. The 3rd of January I read 8 hours. The 3rd I was reading Little Fires Everywhere on audiobook on Libby. And after that day I was at 19 hours and 17 minutes. And then the 4th I read 9 hours and I was reading The Recovery Agent. And then I started The Recovery Agent on the 3rd, and then I finished it on the 4th, and then I started reading The More of Less on the 4th. And then the 5th, I finished The More of Less. I started reading Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Yeah, so within that time span, I read 4 books and like a good amount of the Matthew Perry memoir, just a little bit of Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. 5th, I read 6 hours, which brought us to a total of 34 hours and 17 minutes of reading. So I actually went above and beyond my 24-hour challenge. So that is what I was reading. That is how long it took me. It took me about 10 days, including the days that I didn't read. But it took me about 10 days to get to the 34 hours and 17 minutes. If He Had Been With Me is by Laura Nolan, and it is a really good book. I really enjoyed it. It is about basically 2 best friends, Autumn and Finn, and they grew up together and they were always like together, and then they kind of like went their separate ways and they dated other people and they were with other people, and then they slowly grew closer and they end up having feelings for each other. And then it has a really intense ending, which I'm not going to spoil. So, categories why If He Had Been With Me, I rate that book like a 5 out of 5, I would say. Yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. And then Little Fires Everywhere. So, to summarize Little Fires Everywhere, this book is about a very rich family, the Richardsons. And then a mom and her daughter who, the mom is an artist and she does other jobs to make ends meet. And they're low income, basically. And it has a lot of twists and interesting things, and some people consider it a psychological mystery, and it really, I I don't know. I feel like it wasn't what you'd think it is at first. I would rate it like a 4 out of 5. Little Fires Everywhere is by Celeste Ng. And then The More of Less. This book is about minimalism and removing clutter and learning how to not hold on to things that we don't need to hold on to, basically. Um, and I actually got recommended this book from a no buy Discord community from a another YouTuber that I watch, another person who makes YouTube videos. But The More of Less had a lot of interesting takes, and it had a lot of interesting information, and it had more than what you think it would have, I guess. Like, it wasn't just like shaming you for having so much stuff. It's just like really diving deep and being like, okay, like, I get why you have this stuff, but you don't need to have this stuff. And it's like preparing you and giving you tools to like declutter and want to declutter and be motivated to declutter. It actually motivated me to start just like that. And not just like that. I read it a few days ago and I started going through my clothes yesterday. I got rid of 2 big bags of clothes. So I'm very excited for that. It's a slow process, but I'm excited. So The More of Less, I would rate a 3.9 out of 5. And that is just because it's not my normal, like, it's not my favorite type of book, but it was a really, really good book. And then The Recovery Agent, that was really good. The Recovery Agent is essentially, I would consider it a YA book. It doesn't say it's that, but it's considered a mystery book. It's a fiction book, obviously. And it is about this person who gets hired to find things that have been lost, and usually very high value things, so it can get her into sticky situations. And this book is about how she ends up having to search for something that was like really, really valuable. It's essentially like treasure, and she comes to a lot of obstacles, and her ex-husband ends up, basically they have like a whole thing. But The Recovery Agent was also pretty good. On my rating scale, I would say it's like a 3.5 out of 5. Because it's not like the coolest book I've ever read, but it wasn't terrible. Like, it was an okay book. I enjoyed it. And I had just started reading Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. I don't even think I got past like the intro. This is the real tangible book that I was reading. Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry. I got it last Christmas, not this Christmas, not like a week or so ago Christmas, like 2 weeks ago, whatever. You know what I'm saying. I got this Christmas 2022, and I am kind of sort of almost done with it. So that's pretty much it for today's book video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope my ratings or like my descriptions helped you figure out if you want to read them. I don't know. I'm new at this whole kind of like book bid thing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.